Okay, folks, so I wanted to record a basically video companion to the blog that I just did on the topic of Joseph D Rosenbaum. He was the first man shot by Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha. And the main thrust of this argument is, whether you think Kyle Rittenhouse was wrong or not, getting shot by an allegedly bad person does not make someone a good person. So for those of you just tuning in who need to be reminded or just weren't even aware of who Joseph Rosenbaum was, I got this video here by Chris Woe just to give you a little sample of what kind of model citizen he was.
Fuck you with everything you got. Shoot me, nigga. Shoot me, nigga. Bust on me, nigga, for real.
Now, you just watched a video of an earlier confrontation between Rosenbaum and the militia people that Kyle was part of, and then you see him getting shot over here. And people call him victim, or people call him first guy got shot. It doesn't really matter. The main reason that I felt compelled to do this is this particular video is not about whether or not Kyle Rittenhouse was justified in shooting anybody. It was about the fact that there's this disturbing trend going on right now that I'm seeing, that people are essentially canonizing the people that Kyle shot as saints, as if just by virtue of being people who died who happen to be on the same side as the left, that automatically means that they're the good guys. And I'm going to go ahead and read here. Joseph D. Rosenbaum was the first person shot by Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin on August 25, 2020. Rosenbaum was seen on the video confronting the militia group that Kyle was part of that night, upset that one of the militia had put a dumpster fire that he had basically been set by the protesters near a gas station out. I did a video piecing together many different clips that evening that I will share at the end of this article. Rosenbaum was extremely combative and aggressive with the militia group, at one point daring them to shoot him. In one of those widely circulated videos of the first shooting, Rosenbaum was shot after chasing Kyle across a parking lot and throwing an object at him. A gunshot went off in the distance, causing Kyle to turn and fire at Rosenbaum, who had gained on him. Rosenbaum later died of his wounds. Since the shooting, my fellow activists on the left have been allowing themselves to be so polarized that everyone involved in any controversy who shares their views is automatically forgiven of all sins, and anyone who opposes their views is automatically guilty. Everything people on our side do or say is always taken in the best possible light, up to and including simply denying any wrongdoing. The opposite is true for anyone on the right. So there were a lot of articles, Facebook posts, etc., paying tribute or mourning the loss of Rosenbaum as if he was a brave warrior for the cause. Here's a quote from the Kenosha News article, and then I provide the link here. "They came out here every time with us, sweet and loving. They were the sweetest hearts and souls." Now, here's another article with a headline that says it all. "Kenosha victims identified, remembered as sweet, loving guys by family and friends." Well, here's where the myth breaks down. Rosenbaum was a convicted sex offender. There was some confusion about this. His place on the sex offender registry, as initially it was available, and then it was expunged later because he was deceased. This is a screenshot of his place on the registry before it was removed. Now, the reason these get removed basically is after somebody dies, they go ahead and take you off the registry. There were people that were accusing people of making this up or that it was a hoax, because when it was first linked, it was there, and then later on when people tried to repeat the same search, it wasn't there. So here it is, a screenshot of it before it was taken down. But if there's still any doubt as to what he did, you can also go here. I have a link here to his inmate profile from Arizona Corrections. Once again, Joseph D. Rosenbaum. Sexual conduct with a minor, interfering with a monitor device. He also has a huge long litany of things that he did wrong in prison, including assault, possession of a weapon. Needless to say, he was not a nice person. Then there's also his bail bonds headquarters profile, which you can see here. Arizona State Prison inmate details for Joseph Rosenbaum. Again, all available on my blog, here with the link. Sexual conduct with minor. Go ahead and go back. So this is where things really take a turn for the dark. Somebody found his pre-sentence report, and one second, I clicked the wrong thing. Here we go. Background. Around the end of February 2002, an acquaintance of the defendant brought him home to stay after the defendant was asked to leave his mother's residence. The acquaintance was the husband of one of two sisters and a cousin who lived in the same neighborhood. For about 1 month, the defendant stayed at all three women's homes and had contact with their sons, the minor victims. The 5 victims range in age from 9 to 11 years old. Offense. The mother of one of the victims noted a burn mark on her son on March 29, 2002. When she asked him about the mark, he made allegations of sexual molestation by the defendant. So she called the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Later that evening, forensic interviews were conducted with all 5 victims. And the names here are redacted, but one of the kids reported the defendant touched his penis and exposed his own penis. Another one said he saw the defendant masturbate himself to the point of ejaculation and showed him magazines depicting naked adult females. Then one of them was anally penetrated by the defendant on March 27, 2002, as was his twin. Was also shown adult pornography, and while the defendant showed him these images, he masturbated his own penis to the point of ejaculation. Another one reported that on March 27, 2002, the defendant performed oral sex on his younger brother and then had him perform oral sex on him. Also recalled the defendant had him perform mutual masturbation. This is not like just a normal sexual offense. He had 5 victims ranging in ages from 9 to 11. I'm also providing here the case files, which show the various counts and the details. Basically, anal penetration. It's just disgusting and horrible. So, on a side note, he also at one point had domestic abuse charges, and those were eventually dropped. But I would say that there's a lot of cases where somebody who has done something like this, the victim often drops the charges or urges the prosecutor to do so. In the blog, I also list my other video that basically shows all of the footage of the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting. And my next blog is going to talk about Anthony Huber, the guy with the skateboard who got shot, and he was a repeat domestic violence offender. Now, again, I want to talk about my motive for making this blog, is that just like every other detail revolving around this, the Jacob Blake shooting, everything else, there's just far too much of people just simply talking out of their ass, lying in many cases, omitting information or simply denying that things were true. I've had people tell me flat out that Joseph Rosenbaum was not a sexual, criminal offender in any way. And so I went and gathered up all the data, and here it is. I'll put a link to my blog in the description of the video. And again, even if you feel Kyle Rittenhouse was wrong in shooting him, this man is not a hero. He does not deserve recognition. He doesn't deserve tribute or honors or plaques being built to him or for his name to be said, because you're talking about somebody who sodomized 5 boys in ages ranging from 9 to 11. Be careful who you call your heroes. Thanks for tuning in.